always been known to stand on business, especially when it comes to people crossing the line.
Yes, he is, and so am I. What's up? It's your boy Stevie83, and we're back with another react. You know what I'm saying? Today we're reacting to Durk slamming BrickBabby for telling too much, telling somebody wrong, telling whoever, but the feds got him now, and he's the one to let the cat out of the bag. Let's get into it today. These people crazy.
Messing with him in his circle.
If you with anybody
hiding be snitched, let's get into it. The allegations. The streets have been buzzing mad crazy with word that Lil Durk has put BrickBabby on blast for allegedly snitching on him. This whole situation got the rap game in shambles, with fans going at each other's necks on social media about who's keeping it 100 and who's moving like a rat. Lil Durk got snatched up by the
moving like a rat
2024, facing some heavy murder for hire charges connected to the 2022 death of Saviera Robinson, aka Lil Pab, Quando Rondo's cousin. The moment Durk got booked, everybody started pointing fingers, and BrickBabby ended up catching all the heat as the suspected snitch in the cut. These charges ain't just coming out of nowhere. They're tied into Durk's whole history of beef. His situation with Quando Rondo has been straight fire, all stemming from that Atlanta shootout in November 2020 that left King Von dead. After Von got packed out, the feds claimed Durk put a bag on Rondo's head, which supposedly led to that 2022 hit attempt where they ended up bodying Lil Pab instead. The Durkio, this latest case, is the most serious smoke he's ever faced. Back in 2012, he was just trading diss tracks with Lil Jojo, and in 2014, he had that little situation with Chief Keef that they squashed. But this Quando beef got real bodies dropped, and the feds all in his business. The alleged plot against Rondo.
I didn't know about the little beef. You gotta check into those.
To catching major cases, especially when you got cats like BrickBabby who might be telling tales. On every social platform from Reddit to X, fans been dissecting every little connection between Durk and BrickBabby. People saying BrickBabby is co-conspirator or in the paperwork, supposedly the one who gave up Quando Rondo's location to Durk's squad, Only the Family, OTF. Whack 100 took it to another level when he straight called out BrickBabby as a rat during DJ Academic's live stream.
Now, do y'all think BrickBabby's a snitch? I mean, really, do you? If you don't, you on something.
Some dude on X claimed Durk dropped a whole 100 bands on BrickBabby for setting up the Lul Pad hit, which only made the whole situation more heated. On Reddit, these rumors been spreading like wildfire. In a thread about BrickBabby's alleged involvement in the Lul Pad situation, one user dismissed the whole thing, saying, "Who gives a what AK thinks either they ain't do none important or progressive for the culture, they just live on the internet 24/7 and just speak on they haven't been through or know anything about." Another fan analyzed Brick's own bars, noting that BrickBabby said in his song "A Quarter Ain't Enough," "You gon' need 100. I can see them paying 100K for Lil Pad," connecting his lyrics to the alleged payment. What makes this whole situation extra spicy is Durk's long history of beefing with other rappers in the drill scene. From early ops like Lil Jojo and Chief Keef to more recent smoke with NBA Youngboy and 6ix9ine, Durk has been in his fair share of rap battles. Most of these beats got their roots
6ix9ine, that's a whole different subject there. That's a whole nother video.
Durk's OTF and Gangster Disciple set. The irony in all this is crazy thick. Durk's whole issue with 6ix9ine back in 2020 was mainly because 6ix9ine was branded as a rat after snitching on his 9 Trey homies in 2019. Durk, like most in the culture, saw that as breaking street code. He even planned to drop music the same day as 6ix9ine's Tattletales album, just to try and crush his numbers. Now, Durk himself might be getting backdoored by someone from his own circle, showing how these street principles can get flipped real quick. But what sets the BrickBabby situation apart from Durk's other beef is that this ain't about direct opposition. It's about alleged betrayal from inside the camp. In street culture, that's the ultimate violation, which is why these accusations hit different. BrickBabby ain't been quiet about all this. In a Vlad TV sit-down, he straight denied being co-conspirator 4, pointing out that he was locked up on November 6, 2020, when this person supposedly linked with Durk. He admitted that the feds ran down on his crib in 2023 and took his phone with messages between him and Durk, but swears that had nothing to do with snitching. Still, some of BrickBabby's own
that ain't snitching. So, hey, he give it to him. That is the meat. They call it dry snitching.
Might have tempted him to give up info in the past, though he claimed he never actually did it. Check how BrickBabby breaks down the street. In this clip.
You gotta pray that the dudes that you mess with, you gotta pray that these dudes don't never turn on you, because it's so much betrayal and like disloyal going on. It don't matter how much you give them, it don't matter what you do for them. If they up against it, they damn near giving up everything they know.
What makes this whole situation extra wild is that Durk and BrickBabby used to be tight. They collabed on tracks like Chick for Yo Chick 2016 and Ring Ring 2015 with Kid Ink and Lil Reese. Someone even posted a pic on Reddit showing them in a California studio together in 2022, suggesting they were still rocking with each other not too long ago. This pattern of being cool one minute and beefing the next is kind of like what happened with Durk and Chief Keef. They started out as
like girls do that,
and started beefing after Durk signed to Def Jam and Interscope in late 2012, while Keef was pushing his Glow Gang movement. Their beef came from street politics and perceived disloyalty, with Durk feeling Keef was switching sides by supporting West Coast rappers Tyga and The Game on their Chirac remix. Unlike the BrickBabby situation though, Durk and Keef eventually squashed their beef in August 2014, showing that not all rap feuds got an
ain't that deep, bro. It ain't that
current
deep.
Controversy got fans split down the middle, with some thinking BrickBabby's a straight snitch and others believing he's just catching strays. One Reddit user didn't hold back, saying this is dry snitching as a mother, while another was heated that why
I
you
said
say
it
that on a huge platform like No Jumper. Durk gotta cut this off. Can't shut their mouth anymore. This mess is also connected to the ongoing beef between Lil Durk and NBA Youngboy. Their beef popped off around 2020 after King Von's death and has been one of Durk's biggest conflicts. They've dropped multiple diss tracks at each other, including Youngboy's Bring the Hook and I Hate Youngboy, plus Durk's Aha. In an interview, Durk addressed questions about how this beef even started.
What's the issue with you and Youngboy? Like, how did it start? Because this
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't know. I don't know. What you do?
You've met him before.
What did you do for me to be in tour with you? Like the word thing. Diss songs back and forth. Cool.
I think he's mad. I think there's two things that he did.
This clip shows how these rap beefs often start from small misunderstandings.
It ain't none like Durk. It ain't none for him. He bout it.
Connection between this
he bout their life.
And the BrickBabby drama makes everything.
Some of them you just can't
since
change.
Fans see all these beefs as part of the same storyline. Making matters worse, another OTF member, OTF Jam, has also been accused of working with the police, with multiple snitching allegations floating around Durk's case. Fans are trying to figure out who might be running their mouth to the feds. On April 9th, 2025, an ex-post claimed that No Jumper broke down newly surfaced federal paperwork tied to BrickBabby's wiretap, where he allegedly said wild stuff and faced snitch allegations. The next day, another post said BrickBabby got denied bond after federal authorities used No Jumper podcast footage as evidence. These new developments suggest the feds got some serious.
They used the evidence to get him, and they caught him with a. It ain't just that. He got caught with an like an AK.
It's also about his past statement.
Like a 4-7. He got caught with that 4-7. Do your homework on the 4-7.
In February 2023, BrickBabby suggested that people can't tell Durk to slide for Von anymore, hinting that Durk had already got his get back for King Von's death. These kinds of comments got people questioning his loyalty and discretion. The street codes.
You took my man's to take your man. That's how it is.
The heart of this whole controversy. The accusations against BrickBabby.
You took my man, I'm gonna take your man. That's how it is. That's how he feels.
Never talk to the cops. The severity of Durk's legal troubles has everyone speculating about who might be working with the feds. Durk's facing charges of conspiracy to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and use of firearms in furtherance.
Man, that carries a whole
if he gets convicted,
bunch of
he could
time.
be looking at a life bill. This case revolves around
bunch of time.
Federal
like, it ain't even numbers no more. It's letters.
Back at Quando Rondo for King Von's death back in 2020. The cycle of violence in this situation.
When you start putting the ABCs to this shit.
Durk's beef with Quando Rondo stands out from
people
all
don't want to. They don't want to face it.
Temporary
they don't want to face it.
Chief Keef, which they squashed in 2014.
They thinking in their head.
Back and forth with
they thinking in their head like, man, I got to stay in here the rest of my life. Versus all I got to do is say, hey, somebody else did this or he did this. Somebody else did that, and I can go home. Shit, it takes a weirdo motherfucker. Weirdo.
Tyga and the Game.
To stay
the
in that
situation has real bodies attached to it. It's the most serious escalation of any of Durk's beefs, with legal consequences that could end his career.
I'm a fucking weirdo.
The Rondo situation also shows how the music industry and street life have become dangerously intertwined. According to the feds, Durk allegedly offered a $50,000 killer plus opportunities through OTF to whoever carried out the hit. Using music industry perks as part of a murder scheme shows how blurred these lines have become in drill culture. This ain't the only time Durk has been been linked to violence against ops. After FBG Duck got murdered in August 2020, Durk paid tribute to him during a 2024 Chicago concert, showing Duck's picture alongside other dead rappers. This move caught heat from Duck's mother, who filed a lawsuit in October 2024 claiming Durk, OTF, and King Von were involved in Duck's death. While 6 dudes got convicted for Duck's murder in January 2024, the lawsuit claims OTF played a part, adding another layer to Durk's legal drama. Lil Durk himself has talked about how King Von's death affected him and created pressure for payback. In this interview clip, he breaks down the complex street politics.
The whole situation that happened with Quando.
How we live and how we go by. And I'm speaking for the whole Chicago. You ain't there. What the fuck? You weren't there. So you made a diss and said something about Von. That's why I don't with you. You ain't did zero in reality. It just happened the way it happened.
This clip shows how deeply personal these beefs become and how they create pressure from fans and peers to slide for your homie. The expectations on Durk to get
he
back
took
to
his
Von
homeboy from him though, man.
Murder plot.
You can't let that slide.
Loyalty and revenge got all mixed
like
up. The whole concept
it's
is loyalty.
Different. I feel like it's different. Like if you in this lifestyle, you're in the you in the gang. You're a rapper. You're a drill rapper. You're making money off rapping, making money off of dissing. You're in that life. You gotta be all the way in that life. There ain't no turning back.
Drill music is complicated and often contradictory. While artists like Durk emphasize staying down for your squad, the reality is that many of these allegiances...
Like, when you lose your best friend, though, like, your right-hand man, he's been there every day with you. He's been there every day with you. When that's gone, you got to wake up the next day and you know you can't call him on the phone. You can't text him. You can't walk outside. You can't walk up the block and see your mans. That shit hit heavy.
Shift over time. Durk's early beef with Lil JoJo back in 2012.
I know.
Like
I lost my bet.
Black Disciples, Durk's side, and Gangster Disciples, JoJo's side. When JoJo got killed in September 2012 while riding a bike in Chicago's Englewood area, it marked one of the first major deaths in drill's violent history, though Durk was never directly connected to the murder. Social media has become the main battleground, where these accusations play out in real time. On X, fans have been analyzing every little detail. One user boldly claimed, #BrickBabby has went into hiding. Bet you won't see him on No Jumper no more. While another speculated, now I wouldn't be surprised if BrickBabby was the other co-conspirator they were speaking about in the paperwork. BrickBabby's viral No Jumper interview poured gasoline on the fire. After it spread across platforms, people immediately started asking, BrickBabby snitched on Durk. The speed at which these allegations spread shows how quickly reputations can be destroyed in today's connected world. On Reddit, fans have been picking apart BrickBabby's every word. In a discussion about BrickBabby saying Durk no longer needed to slide for Von after Lil Pop's death, one user angrily commented, "This is dry snitching as a mother." Another fan believed in Durk's involvement, stating, "IMO Durk paid for that hit, lol, all the signs were there." BrickBabby has tried to defend himself amid all the accusations. In an X post from October 25th, 2024, he claimed he wasn't snitching, but was just trolling, trying to play off the allegations as misunderstandings and jokes. You
can't say you're trolling after the truth's been let out and there's been bodies dropping and there's actual real time holding up behind this. Like, you can't say you was playing. You can't say you was trolling. You can't say that. Like, when you're mans and them, you lost your best friend, the man that's right there with you every day. Like, your cousin hitting the ground going up top, that ain't gonna do it. It's gotta be somebody better than that. It's gotta be your best friend.
Controversy has also sparked debate about what actually counts as snitching in today's hip-hop landscape. Some argue that BrickBabby's public statements, while not directly cooperating with authorities, still break street code by suggesting criminal activity. Others point out the hypocrisy of rappers who talk about crimes in their music, but call others rats for similar behavior. The snitching allegations against BrickBabby mirror similar accusations Durk has made against others in his beefs. His issue with 6ix9ine was largely based on 6ix9ine's cooperation with authorities against his 9 Trey Gangsta Blood Blood's associates in 2019. Durk, like many in rap, saw this as violating street code. The irony that Durk might now be facing betrayal from someone in his own circle adds another layer to the situation. This internal conflict about the boundaries of loyalty and self-preservation gets even more complicated when considering the serious legal consequences at stake. As 1090 Jake pointed out in this interview about Durk's co-defendants,
and I said it completely depends on his co-defendants. If they testify against him, he's cooked.
Yeah.
If everyone stays quiet, he'll be good, but it's a little hard for the actual shooters that have been caught, that are confirmed that they're the shooters, to just say, yeah, I'll do life in prison. Like, okay, no problem.
This assessment highlights the harsh reality.
Some people do, though. Some people do. You know what I mean? Some people do.
In prison. The 5 co-defendants in Durk's case, Kayvon London Grant, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa Houston, are each facing impossible choices about cooperating versus staying loyal. The alleged murder-for-hire plot itself shows the dangerous mix of street loyalty and violence. According to federal prosecutors, Lil Durk allegedly offered a $50,000 killer's fee, plus music opportunities through OTF to those who carried out the hit. This blurring of lines between the music industry and street violence shows how loyalty can be behind that with deadly results. Another interesting aspect of this case involves how
not the money you got, you loaded, bro.
Prosecutors claim that
if it don't start with the letter M, we ain't talk.
Like telling associates, don't book no flights under no names involved with sick me. This awareness of potential surveillance shows a sophisticated understanding of legal risk, making any potential cooperation by associates even more shocking to fans. The aftermath of King. Von's murder continues to affect the whole hip-hop community. Von, who was killed in November 2020 outside an Atlanta club during a confrontation with Quando Rondo's crew, was a close homie of Durk. His death created massive pressure for revenge, with fans online constantly asking when Durk would slide for Von. This pressure shows how street codes are reinforced by fan communities online. Social media comments demanding revenge create an environment where violence becomes expected and even celebrated, putting artists like Durk in impossible.
You can't let what the fans say, though, push you into a life sentence, my boy. You gotta think about this stuff.
Legal trouble and maintaining their street cred. Quando Rondo has responded to the tensions with Durk and BrickBabby, suggesting the beef is far from over. In a March 2024 post on Reddit, fans discussed Quando's statement, "It's time to make the score 2-1," which many took as a threat of more violence. This ongoing cycle of threats and potential retaliation shows how these conflicts extend beyond just the artist to involve their entire crews and fan bases. Interestingly, Rondo has since expressed a desire to squash the beef, citing his Muslim faith and a September 2024 conversation with a Muslim advisor urging reconciliation. His October 2024 Instagram post about forgiveness was seen as referencing Durk's arrest, suggesting at least one side might be willing to end the cycle of violence. However, with Durk facing serious charges, any potential peace seems unlikely for now. The controversy surrounding BrickBabby
best thing to do for Quando is just keep your mouth closed.
Los Angeles and Chicago street politics. As an LA-based rapper with ties to the Rolling 60s Crips, BrickBabby's connection to Chicago-based Durk shows how regional boundaries in hip-hop have become increasingly blurred. This cross-regional networking creates complex loyalties and potential conflicts when legal issues arise. The federal case. Lil Durk's legal troubles put a massive dark cloud over this whole controversy. The detailed federal case against him shows both how serious his situation is and why all these snitching allegations have been popping up. The charges against Durk come from an alleged plot to smoke Quando Rondo as payback for King Von's death. Though Rondo survived, his cousin Saviah Robinson, Lil Pav, got killed in the August 2022 shooting in Los Angeles. Federal prosecutors claim Durk orchestrated and bankrolled this operation, offering a $50,000 killer's fee and music opportunities through his OTF label. Federal prosecutors
enough. I don't say it once. That ain't enough.
Flights to Italy, Switzerland, and the UAE. This apparent attempt to duck justice likely played a big part in the judge's decision to deny him bond. The evidence against Durk seems heavy. Prosecutors have financial records, phone records, text messages, surveillance footage, and even a recorded jail call from co-defendant Keith Jones, allegedly referencing Durk's disappointment that Rondo wasn't killed, stating, "The big one, we missed him." This mountain of evidence led a judge to deny Durk bond, citing his bread, influence, and flight risk. Making matters worse, prosecutors have also raised concerns about his potential involvement in another body in Chicago, likely referring to the January 2022 killing of Stephon Mack, though he hasn't been charged for that yet. The case's complexity is reflected in its timeline. Originally set
they can't get him for that too. I don't think Durkee will have none to do with that.
2025, due to the massive amount of evidence over 230 gigabytes of digital material, and 20,000 pages of documents. This extended timeline increases pressure on co-defendants who might be thinking about flipping. 1090 Jake gives a sobering take on how bad things look for Durk.
I think the question shouldn't be, will he beat it? I think the question should be, will he survive it?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't necessarily think you're just beating a Fed case like that. I think there's going to be a difference where, 5 years, yeah, you'll survive that. 10 years, you'll survive that. A 80-year sentence plus life, you're not making it.
The federal case might include even more disturbing elements than
You're
initially.
not making it.
According to Chicago-based YouTuber Trench's News, there might have been a rat placed in the cell of one of the co-defendants.
So why is he in Illinois River? The feds put an informant in his cell, put in an informant. And the thing about this is the man is going to say the reason why he told his cellie this is because he was scared and that he needed protection. But I'm finna read it off the paperwork.
This suggests that federal authorities may have planted an informant in the cell of co-defendant AJ.
They're talking about two different things.
Houston, who allegedly recorded conversations about the murder-for-hire plot. Durk's current legal situation is way more serious than his previous issues with the law. While he's faced charges before, including a 2019 Atlanta shooting case that got dropped in 2022, the current federal case carries the most severe potential consequences.
Yeah,
This
life in the feds is over.
Mirrors the
It's
increasingly
over.
serious nature
What's
of his
89% of life? 85% of life.
Operations with deadly outcomes. But where exactly does BrickBabby fit into all of it? Despite all the rumors, his name doesn't appear in the official court documents related to the case against Lil Durk. He's not listed among the 5 co-defendants, and no public evidence directly connects him to the case. However, the claim that federal agents raided his spot in 2023 and took his phone containing messages with Lil Durk adds an interesting twist. If true, it suggests authorities might have considered him relevant to their investigation, even if he hasn't been formally charged.
But
The botched
he's
execution
irrelevant.
of the alleged hit provides another fascinating aspect of this case. According to Trench's News, the shooters made some rookie mistakes during their getaway.
Now, in the process of them doing all this, they didn't realize that they had their phone in the car and they locked the car door.
Oh my
So
God.
when they try to run back to the car after the murder, the car doors was locked. So what do you do when the car door is locked and you only got 30-40 seconds possibly before the police come?
This mistake led to a phone being left behind, which the police recovered. This phone contained critical evidence, including calls and texts between the alleged shooters discussing payment from Durk. This type of amateur move highlights the messy reality of street violence, far from the calculated image often portrayed in rap lyrics. The Quando Rondo situation represents the deadliest of all Durk's beats. While conflicts with artists like Lil Jojo, FBG Duck, and Chief Keef made noise in Chicago's drill scene, the death of Saviaya Robinson, Lil Pal, as collateral damage in the plot targeting Rondo marks a tragic escalation. Unlike some of Durk's previous beefs that ended with reconciliation, Chief Keef, or just faded away, Tiger the Game, the legal and human consequences of the Rondo beef could permanently destroy Durk's career and freedom.
None of that
It's worth
comes with
noting
a
that
life
Rondo
sentence.
has since
They
expressed
either,
a desire to squash the beef, citing his Muslim faith and a
like,
September 2024 conversation
if you're
with a Muslim
gone, you're
advisor
gone. They
urging
send you up, you're up.
His
You don't
October
know nothing.
2024 Instagram post about forgiveness was interpreted as referencing Durk's arrest.
In jail, you gotta think about that every day for the rest of your life.
However, with Durk now facing serious charges, any potential peace seems unlikely in the near future.
Durk
The broader
Banks.
implications of this case extend beyond Durk and BrickBabby. The use of rap lyrics as evidence has sparked significant controversy.
I don't know how
critics
they do
arguing
that.
it criminalizes artistic expression. Prosecutors have reportedly cited Durk's lyrics in building their case, raising concerns about the
goofy.
blurring of lines between
Using
art
lyrics.
and evidence. Despite being locked up, Durk has
mean-
continued to maintain his music career. His recent album, Deep Thoughts, released in March 2025, contains introspective tracks, but notably lacks direct references to the case of BrickBabby. This suggests a strategic decision to avoid creating additional evidence through his music while his legal situation unfolds. The stakes in this case go way beyond potential prison time for artists like Durk and BrickBabby. Their whole identities and careers are built on credibility within hip-hop culture. Snitching allegations, whether true or not, can permanently damage reputations and end careers. This explains the aggressive denials from BrickBabby and the intense speculation surrounding every aspect of this case. The impact on Chicago's drill scene has been major. As one of the biggest names in Chicago drill, Durk's legal troubles have cast a shadow over the entire movement. His
That's
situation
crazy,
highlights
man.
the
They're
dangers
doing my
facing
boy like
artists
this.
who come up from neighborhoods plagued by violence. The very authenticity that boosts their careers can also lead to devastating legal consequences. The Baby's connection to this controversy adds another interesting angle. In an interview,
I know
Durk
Lil
broke down
Baby
how he
just
handled
got
the Baby's
booked.
collaboration with NBA YoungBoy, showing a pragmatic approach to industry relationships.
I DM'd the Baby and told him, I'm like, hey fam, I'm like, whatever you got going on, y'all doing the tape, I'm like, that's y'all. You feel me? That's when the other came out, oh man, doing the white flag in my DM. Ooh. No, that's what he's supposed to say.
This clip shows how complex these industry relationships can be.
Damn.
Artists trying to
He said,
navigate
"Cause
personal loyalty,
man, that's
business
mad.
opportunity,
Can't
and street
do that.
cred at the same time." Durk's approach to Day Baby suggests a more nuanced understanding of hip-hop politics than the strict street codes might indicate, raising questions about how the BrickBabby situation might have been handled differently. The BrickBabby controversy also has parallels to Durk's other recent legal drama. In October 2024, FBG Duck's mother filed a lawsuit claiming Durk, OTF, and King Von were involved in Duck's August 2020 murder. This followed Durk showing Duck's image during a 2024 Chicago concert tribute to deceased rappers, a move many called hypocritical. While 6 dudes got convicted for Duck's murder in January 2024, no direct evidence has
He's
publicly
in
connected
court with the
Durk to the
Balenciaga
killing, though the
code on.
lawsuit
Y'all see
claims
that?
OTF was involved. Several of Durk's associates have also been caught in the crossfire of his legal troubles with serious consequences. Of all his beefs, the body count has been particularly high. Lil Jojo was killed in 2012, FBG Duck was murdered in 2020, and Saviaya Robinson, Lil Pad, died in 2022 as collateral damage in the Quando Rondo situation. Meanwhile, several others connected to these beefs are facing their own legal problems, including Quando Rondo, 6ix9ine, Famous Dex, and G Herbo. Now back to BrickBabby. Whether the dude actually snitched on
Getting
Durk
them
or
all.
is just catching
They getting
heat
them
from
all.
unfounded rumors remains unclear. What is
When the
clear
feds
is
come,
that
the feds take
allegations against
everybody.
him reflect the intense pressure and paranoia surrounding federal cases in hip-hop. In an industry where loyalty is everything, just the suggestion of working with police can permanently destroy reputations and careers. The coming months will be a tough ride for Lil Durk as his legal team prepares for the October 2025 trial. With his freedom on the line, the question of who might be cooperating with authorities takes on life-changing significance. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed
That's the end of us for today, guys. Make sure you go like, comment, subscribe, turn the push notifications on so you never miss an upload. We out. Peace.